What's up, everybody? It's Gunnar in the garage here. I'm going to do some player ratings for Arsenal's 2-1 win over Crystal Palace. Not as clean and as cut and as straightforward as we had hoped. By the end of the game, I thought we are going to get a point out of this, and that was it. But Aaron Ramsey, with that late score, got us to 3 points and starts off our season the right way. And that's all that matters. Hey, if it was an ugly game, but you got the 3 points in the end, I'll take it. So here are my player ratings. Chesney, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I thought that he did okay. Really not a lot to trouble him today. Not a lot of work that he had to do. I think the goal from Hangeland, there wasn't really much that he could do to stop that. There was some nervy clearances here and there, but I thought that overall he did well, and I think that he can grow into his performances and get even better. Kellen Chambers, he's my man of the match. I give him an 8. I thought that he played so well. He was so confident, so composed. He looked like he had been part of the Arsenal squad for years, and he seemed to pair really well with Koscielny. And I would give him the man of the match. He was very consistent, very calm, cool, collected. I was really excited to see how well he handled the pressure of his first Arsenal game, first game of the season, stepping in and filling in that center back position. Um, Next would be Debuchy. I thought that he did really well in his debut as well. He got up and down that right side, really pressed Crystal Palace at times, and only had a few times where he struggled to get back. So I would give him a 7. I thought that he played really well, and I was impressed. I think that there's going to be a little more offense on that right side than when Sonia used to be there. So I'm excited about that. Let's see. Gibbs didn't really get to get into the game. He didn't really get a chance to settle in. Got an injury. Arsene Wenger said it was a hamstring injury. It's going to be something that they're going to have to see how bad it is. And we all, as Arsenal fans, know about those hamstring injuries and how they seem to linger and linger and linger and linger and linger. And so I'm hoping that's not the case with Gibbs, but you have to kind of fear for the worst in this. I give him a 6. I think that he could have definitely increased that score, but he wasn't able to stay on the field. Um, let's see, Koscielny. Koscielny did super well today. I thought he was again kind of up there for man of the match performance. That his goal to get us back in the game was much needed, and he was again strong in defense. Sometimes I think Koscielny just kind of picks up a game. You don't expect that from a defender, but he kind of picks the game up by the scruff of the neck and he goes for it. So I was really impressed with his performance today, and just off a little bit from Chambers. I'm kind of maybe favoring Chambers because it was such a great debut for him. But Koscielny was consistent. I give him an 8. I thought he played a really great match. Arteta looks like the old Arteta. He was cool, calm, and collected. He was quarterbacking from that right in front of the back four. Passing was crisp. It was good. It didn't look like he was caught out of place. I really think that he needs Ramsey. I think that when we saw him struggle last year, it was because he didn't have Ramsey next to him, the power, the strength to get help with making sure that Arsenal could win the ball back in the midfield. And so now that he has Ramsey next to him, he has that confidence and that ability that he can quarterback the Arsenal attack at a much more efficient rate. So I was pleased with him. I'll give him a 7. I thought that he played really well. Santi Cazorla, he was a little off today. Maybe I'll give him a 6. I think that he struggled to kind of find his rhythm. It just didn't seem like it was his day today. A lot of passes that just didn't get through. Was on the ground a lot. Got hit in the head. I think just kind of struggled a bit today. I'm going to give him a 6. I just thought that he really had a hard time getting into the game. Maybe bordering on a 5.5. I just think that he struggled. I don't think it has anything to do with him. I just think that sometimes you have a bad day at the office, and I just felt like for him, most of his stuff didn't work out today. So we'll give him a 6. And let's see, Alexis looked really good, but you could tell he needs to kind of settle in with his teammates. He struggled to really connect on some passes, but you can see the potential. There's so much potential in his talent, his trapping of the ball on the chest there, just balancing it, just showing his incredible skill towards the end of the game was a thing of beauty. And I think that Alexis just has so much to offer, but he's not quite ready yet, and hasn't really gotten on the same page with the rest of his team. But I think once that clicks, once that happens, there's going to be just kind of a burst from him. But I'll give him a 6 today. Again, I thought that he did well. I thought that he was strong, but I think that he has a long way to grow into. So a 6 for Alexis. Ramsey, I'm going to give him a 7, and I would give him a 6 probably, but he scored the match winner. I give him a 7 for that, and I think that for a lot of the game he was kind of absent, kind of doing a little bit of a Jack Wilshere, was on the floor a lot, struggled, got knocked around a bit, a lot of his stuff not coming off. I just think there was a general, in that midfield, there's a general lack of chemistry, and you can see it. But he gets the 7 because he's just hung in there. And the guy just doesn't give up. And what an incredible poacher's goal there, as he was in the right place at the right time to knock that ball in. And so again, he's the man. He's definitely our best player. I know that we've got Mesut to come back, Mesut Ozil, and we have Alexis now, but I think Aaron Ramsey is the heart and soul of Arsenal, and I think that it's easy to see why that is. He is scores even when he is having a bad game, and I think that's really the mark of a great player, is when you're having a bad game, things aren't really going your way, but you still are persistent and get in there and score. So 7 for Aaron Ramsey. Really, really liked how he stuck with it. Wilshere, I'm going to give him a 6.5, I think. I think, again, I don't know. I really want Jack to do well. I really want him to grow. I really want him to have kind of maybe an Aaron Ramsey-like season this year. But he just falls down and gets knocked down so easily. He is on the ground so much. It's almost like it's just part of his game now. And I don't know if it's just the way that he shields players or the way he tries to keep them off the ball, but they just knock the snot out of him all the time, and I just don't understand why he continues to play the game that way. But he did well, again, linking up, doing well, really started some moves for Arsenal, but really couldn't do a lot in the final third. I'm going to give him a 6.5. I think, again, this is a huge year. If there's anybody on in the squad this year that needs to really have an amazing year, it would be Jack Wilshere. So hopefully he'll grow into the season. Arsene also said that he was sick, so that might have been part of it too, recovering from that. So give him a 6.5. Sanogo, a no-go. I know he probably gets that all the time. I just didn't think that he looked the part today. I really, probably about 20 minutes into the game, I was thinking, we need Giroud. It just seems as if that it might still be a little too soon for him to be jumping into the starting lineup. But I know that he had a great preseason and he looked strong against Benfica. But in this game, he was almost a ghost. I'm going to give him a 4. I just don't think that he really, not for a lack of trying, but I just don't think he was in the game in any way. His touches usually were not good ones. Didn't really see a lot of positives from him in anything that he did today. And I know his heart is to get in there and knock things around and mix things up. But for today, it just seemed like it wasn't working. It wasn't happening. So I'm going to give him a 4. I think that maybe we do need a striker. Maybe you guys can put a comment below and tell me what you think. But I think that maybe we need a step up from Sanogo as a backup striker, or if we could get a world-class striker, if Edison Cavani is really truly on the market, who knows, right? So 4 for Sanogo. And for substitutes, Giroud, I thought that he came in and he does what he does. I thought that he came in, played well, almost had a near post tap in. He did a good job, held up the ball. He was instrumental in Ramsey's goal, keeping the ball in play, keeping it up in the air. So I'd give him a 7. I thought that he played well. And I think that we'll see him again taking that starting job back. I don't think there's a lot of fear that Sonogo is going to take his job. So Giroud to 7. Oxlade-Chamberlain thought he struggled. He not for a lack of pace or trying or power. He kept going after it, but his passes were off. He's giving the ball away, just struggling in that he was more central today than he was on the wings. And I'm going to give him a 5. I think that he was helpful in attack, but he really struggled with his touch and getting his passes on target, and that might again be part of the chemistry problem. But it affected him more so than the other players. And then Monreal, I'm going to give him a solid 7. I think that he came right in and did well and took over for Gibbs when he was injured. And that's what you want from a substitute. I thought that he held down his side of the pitch well. And, he's had those games. There's games where he plays and you think, yeah, he can challenge Gibbs. He can really put something together. And then there's a couple where you're like, what is going on and when will Gibbs get back? And so this was one of those games that I thought that he played really well, and hopefully that will give him confidence to continue. But anyway, that is my player ratings for Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. 2-1. Again, I'm glad that we got the 3 points. I'm glad that Aaron Ramsey was able to secure that at the end, and it was exciting. If you're going to win, sometimes it's nice to win in extra time. But we really need to be picking ourselves up and getting into the season because the games are going to start coming fast. We have Champions League qualifying coming up next, and then I believe it's Everton that we take on. And so we're going to really have to start getting our chemistry figured out in that midfield. And I think once we do, I think we're going to be a very strong team. But right now, we're just not quite firing on all cylinders. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you would like to hear more of these reviews and my thoughts on Arsenal. And all right, guys, I will catch you next time. See you later.